All right, let's go to Indianapolis here and look at their best pick. And again, I'm going chalk because you're not doing anything without a quarterback. Emory, I'll come right back to you. They took Anthony Richardson there, which shocked some people because Will Levis was thought to be in that conversation. I think if C.J. Stroud had slipped, maybe he would have been in the conversation. We'll never know. Anthony Richardson, athletically, what does he do for that team in Shane Steichen's offense?
He makes it so dynamic. And when you think about athletic quarterbacks like Richardson playing with great tailbacks, I always bring up this example. CJ2K was CJ2K with Vince Young. He was CJ 1300 with everybody else. Look at Michael Vick and Warwick Dunn had his best yards per carry average when they were paired together. Anthony Richardson is going to help out Jonathan Taylor's yards per carry average, and he's someone, because of his athletic ability like we're seeing here, he can be brought along slowly. He's much more ready to play than people give him credit for. Has a beautiful deep ball where he can connect on that more accurately than he does everything else. It's the short stuff that you want him to work on and be more consistent there. But I feel like his run game will help him get on the field from game one.
Yeah, let me ask you a question, Ryan, since this is your pick. Do you start him or do you start Gardner Minshew? How do you handle that heading into week one of the opener?
Let me answer that question as you've answered to me as a general manager. Let's go through OTAs and training camp. He is. I would look.
Here's my canned answer.
I respect everything
you and Emory have done to get prepared for this show.
Here's the thing. Like you said that, and there's some truth to that. But I think also you don't want to push him out there too soon. And maybe this sounds soft, but you can affect his confidence, right?
It's like one of those, well, you're from the South, right? Them hunting dogs, if you shoot a shotgun over their head, next thing you know, you're chasing them in a rabbit hole trying to bring them out. We had that conversation in one of the podcasts, why I never become a hunter.
He had to carry the 90-pound dog back to the truck because he's scared of him.
He's scared, right? Yeah. So you find out right away if you throw him out there.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And he ended up being a great house pet. But
well, you don't want a backup quarterback that you take fourth overall. So you got to ease him into the waters. I think Gardner Minshew can hold the fort down maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. You can have packages for Anthony Richardson and ease him in that way. Are you throwing him out there day one?
I'm throwing him out there day one. We took him high. And he's better than Gardner Minshew.
Well, come on, of course he is.
So why not just play him? You can't learn anything from someone you're better than, So that's why you got to throw him out there right away. So I think that's the best bet for him. Because to Rick's point, you either sink or swim, and you'll find out quickly what you have from a dog perspective with your guy if you throw him out there.
But if you bring him along too quickly and you shatter his confidence and you're saying he's not the right guy, you shouldn't have drafted him to begin with if he didn't have that confidence?
Let's look at what's happening in Florham Park with Zach Wilson and his shattered confidence. Now you start to question whether or not, dang, was he the guy? Should we throw him out there? But if he didn't respond the way you expect him to respond, then you got your answer right there. I still will believe in Zach Wilson, though, by the way.
And not to get off a different topic, but I think with Aaron Rodgers coming in, it takes all the pressure off him. He can sit back and maybe recheck. Takes some pressure off Joe Douglas as well because he had 2 Rookie of the Years last year. He brought in Aaron Rodgers, so that's going to buy some time, and I don't think the Zach Wilson story is over yet.
And by the way, Brock Purdy took a lot of pressure off Kyle Shanahan and Trey Lance, and winning all those football games helps too. So winning in New York or wherever, Indianapolis is certainly going to help. Let's go to my hidden gem, and Rick, there are a couple of options here. Darius Rush, who we loved at the Senior Bowl, and I just mentioned to Emory there, and Josh Downs, the wide receiver out of UNC. I went with Josh Downs. He's in the smallest bucket when we talk about these guys, the Marvin Mims, those sorts of players there. Your thoughts on Josh Downs and what he does for Indianapolis?
Boy, they had all of your favorite guys. You and Chris Ballard must have collided or colluded.
Evan Hull, the running back as well at Northwestern. He was that offense. My guy, Julius Brents, of course. But I went with Josh Downs. What do you think about him in that offense with Alec Pierce, their second-round pick last year? Michael Pittman Jr., who's looking to have a good season.
Yeah, they let Paris Campbell go.
Yep.
So now he's going to come in and replace him. And I think he is a more polished slot than Paris. Paris Campbell was almost like a gadget guy because he was a great athlete coming out of Ohio State, but he really never developed into what they thought he was going to develop in. So I think that this guy is going to come in, Downs is going to come in, replace Paris Campbell, and be a better, more productive slot than Paris Campbell was.